game of life isn't fair. It never was, and it never will be. But here's the brutal truth. Losers make excuses. Winners make progress. A broke mind isn't just about empty pockets. It's about a weak spirit, a defeated attitude, a mentality that accepts failure as fate. And that's why broke minds lose every single time. You want to know the difference between a winner and a loser? Winners take full responsibility. But let me tell you something. Nothing great comes from comfort. Every empire, every fortune, every legacy was built through discipline, pain, and relentless action. If you're not willing to grind when it hurts, you don't deserve to win when it counts. Fear is the killer of dreams. Most people are so afraid of failure that they never even try. They play life safe, hoping to avoid loss instead of chasing victory. But that's the loser's game. Winners risk it all. They know that setbacks are just setups for comebacks. They don't fear the fight, they crave it. Because in the end, only the strong survive. Ask yourself, what's your mindset? Are you thinking like a champion, or are you stuck in a broke mentality? Because broke minds lose. Weak thoughts create weak lives. If you want success, you need to think like a winner, act like a predator, and refuse to lose. The choice is yours. Dominate or disappear. The foundation of every success story ever told rests on a single unshakable principle. Mindset determines reality. What you believe in your core shapes the world around you. If you see yourself as a winner, you will act like one, and the universe will respond accordingly. The opposite is also true. A weak mindset, filled with doubt and fear, will manifest failure no matter how much potential you actually have. This isn't some mystical theory. It's the law of cause and effect in motion. Your thoughts dictate your actions dictate your habits, and your habits dictate your destiny. There is no escaping this truth. The moment you accept that your external world is a reflection of your internal state is the moment you take control of your life. Most people never achieve greatness because they refuse to believe they deserve it. They cling to limiting beliefs passed down from society or from their own past failures. They think money is evil, or that success is only for the lucky few. These mental barriers become self-fulfilling prophecies. If you believe you'll fail, you will subconsciously sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. But if you reprogram your mind to expect victory, you will start noticing opportunities others miss. You will develop the resilience to push through setbacks because you know they're temporary. Your mindset doesn't just influence your reality, it creates it. The wealthy, the powerful, and the unstoppable all share one trait: an unbreakable mindset. They don't hope for success, they demand it. They don't wait for permission, they take what's theirs. This isn't arrogance, it's understanding the fundamental rule of existence. The world rewards those who refuse to lose. A broke mind begs for scraps. A winner's mind builds empires. The difference isn't talent or resources, it's psychology. When you truly believe you're destined for greatness, your behavior changes. You stop wasting time on distractions. You become obsessed with improvement. You surround yourself with people who elevate you. Your reality shifts because your mindset has shifted first. Weak-minded individuals see obstacles as dead ends. Strong-minded individuals see obstacles as tests. This distinction is everything. Life isn't fair and it never will be. The question is, will you let that fact defeat you or fuel you? Your mindset decides. If you view challenges as unfair burdens, you will crumble under pressure. If you view them as opportunities to prove your strength, you will rise higher than you ever imagined. The same event, a job loss, a betrayal, a financial crash, can destroy one person while becoming the turning point for another's success. The difference is perception. The difference is mindset. The difference is reality. Most people live in a mental prison of their own design. They tell themselves they're not smart enough, not connected enough, not lucky enough. These lies keep them trapped in mediocrity. But the truth is, you are exactly where your mindset has placed you. If you want a better life, you must first build a better mind. This means cutting off negative influences. This means consuming content that educates and empowers you. This means speaking victory into existence even when current circumstances disagree. Your outer world is a lagging indicator of your inner world. Change your mind and your reality will follow. Action is the bridge between mindset and reality. Thinking like a winner isn't enough. You must act like one. But here's the secret. Action flows naturally from the right mindset. When you truly believe you are unstoppable, you will work harder than everyone else. You will outlearn, out-hustle, and outlast the competition. You won't need motivation because your mindset has rewired your instincts. Procrastination, fear, and laziness die when your self-image transforms. You won't tolerate failure because failure no longer aligns with who you are. Your actions become inevitable extensions of your mindset. The most dangerous lie ever sold is that circumstances control your life. That's victim mentality. The truth is, your mindset shapes your circumstances. Two people can face identical situations. One sees disaster, the other sees opportunity. Which one do you think succeeds? Your mind is the ultimate weapon. Sharpen it, and you can conquer anything. Leave it weak, and you will lose before the battle even begins. Reality isn't fixed. It's fluid. It bends to the will of those with the courage to think differently. If you want a new reality, you need a new mindset. There are no exceptions. Excuses are the silent killers of potential. Every time you justify failure, you surrender power. Winners don't make excuses because excuses are nothing but lies we tell ourselves to avoid facing our own weaknesses. The moment you allow an excuse to take root in your mind, you've already lost. Excuses are the enemy because they create a false sense of comfort in failure. They trick you into believing that your lack of results is someone else's fault or some external circumstance beyond your control. This is cowardice, disguised as reasoning. The truth is brutal but simple. If you wanted success badly enough, you would find a way. Excuses are the crutches of the weak and the mediocre. They are the reason most people never achieve anything meaningful. They blame the economy, their upbringing, their lack of connections, or their bad luck. But the reality is that success has always been possible for those who refuse to accept excuses as valid. The mind is a powerful tool, but it can also be your greatest betrayer. When you feed it excuses, it will manufacture an entire reality where failure is justified. This is how people spend decades stuck in the same place, never growing, never evolving, never winning. They convince themselves that their situation is unique, that the rules don't apply to them, that they've been dealt an unfair hand. This is nonsense. The rules are the same for everyone. Action gets rewarded. Inaction gets ignored. Excuses get you nowhere. Areas. The enemy isn't failure, it's the excuses that keep you from trying again. Every time you say, I can't, or it's too hard, or I don't have time, you are programming yourself for defeat. The language of winners doesn't include excuses. Winners speak in terms of solutions, not problems. They ask how, not why me. They take full ownership of their lives because they understand that excuses are the poison that kills ambition. History is written by those who refuse to make excuses. Every great empire, every groundbreaking innovation, every legendary success story was built by people who faced obstacles far greater than yours and still found a way to win. They didn't have perfect conditions. They had relentless determination. Excuses are the luxury of those who aren't truly committed to their goals. If you're serious about winning, you'll treat excuses like the enemy they are. You'll rip them out of your vocabulary and replace them with action. You'll stop blaming traffic for being late and wake up earlier. You'll stop complaining about not having money and start learning how to earn it. You'll stop pretending you don't have time and start making time. Excuses are the chains that keep you trapped in mediocrity. Break them and you break free. The most dangerous thing about excuses is that they sound reasonable. They disguise themselves as logical explanations when in reality, they are nothing but surrender. I'm too old to start. I don't have the right education. The market is too competitive. These are all just variations of the same weak mentality. The truth is that if you're breathing, you're not too old. If you are reading this, you have access to more knowledge than any generation before you. If the market is competitive, that just means the rewards are worth it for those willing to outwork the competition. Excuses are the enemy because they rob you of your agency. They make you a passive observer in your own life rather than the author of your destiny. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you take back control. Weak people bond over shared excuses. They gather in groups and validate each other's failures as if misery loves company. This is how entire communities remain stuck in poverty or mediocrity. They collectively agree that their circumstances are to blame rather than their choices. Winners don't have time for this nonsense. They distance themselves from excuse makers because they know that mindset is contagious. Surround yourself with people who find ways, and you'll start finding them too. Surround yourself with excuse makers, and you'll drown in their negativity. Excuses are the enemy because they spread like a disease, infecting everyone who tolerates them. The path to success requires you to quarantine yourself from this weakness. Excuses are the ultimate form of self-sabotage. They are the reason you stay in a job you hate, the reason you remain in terrible relationships, the reason you never take the risks required to win big. Every excuse is a brick in the prison you build around your own potential. The crazy part? You hold the key. All you have to do is stop lying to yourself. Stop pretending that external factors are the problem when the real issue is your willingness to endure discomfort. Success demands sacrifice. It demands that you push through fear fatigue and uncertainty without the cheap comfort of excuses. The moment you stop making excuses is the moment you start seeing results. The antidote to excuses is accountability. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Refuse to accept anything less than excellence from yourself. When you fail, and you will fail, analyze what went wrong and improve. Don't waste energy justifying the loss. Winners focus on progress, not excuses. They understand that every setback is a lesson, not a life sentence. Excuses are the enemy because they keep you stuck in the past. And accountability propels you forward. It transforms you from a victim of circumstance to a master of your fate. The choice is yours. Continue making excuses and remain where you are, or eradicate them completely and claim the life you deserve. The world operates on a simple but brutal principle. Money follows power. This is not a metaphor or a motivational slogan. It is the iron law of human civilization. Money does not go to the needy, the wishful, or the deserving. Money flows to those who command respect, who exert influence, and who operate from a position of strength. Power in this context is not just political or physical dominance. It is the power of mindset, the power of skills, the power of unshakable confidence. When you develop true power, when you become someone who cannot be ignored, money has no choice but to follow. The universe rewards those who take what they want, not those who beg for scraps. Most people misunderstand wealth creation at the most fundamental level. They think money comes from jobs, from savings, from lucky breaks. This is the thinking of peasants and wage slaves. The reality is that money is attracted to power like metal to a magnet. Look at any self-made millionaire or billionaire, and you will see this truth in action. They did not chase money. They built something undeniable, whether it was a skill, a brand, or a business empire, and money followed as a natural consequence. Power in the modern world means leverage. The ability to create value at scale, to influence markets, to command attention. When you focus on building real power, the money becomes inevitable. Weak men beg for fairness. Powerful men create their own rules. This is why money follows power, because power is the ability to shape reality to your will. The employee who trades hours for dollars will always be outmatched by the entrepreneur who builds systems that generate wealth while he sleeps. The difference is not luck or privilege. It is the understanding that money is a byproduct of value creation, and value creation requires power. Power to execute. Power to innovate, power to dominate your field. You do not get rich by thinking like a consumer. You get rich by thinking like a general. Money is the reward for those who wage and win the economic wars. History proves this principle beyond debate. Kings, warlords, and industrialists did not amass wealth because they were kinder or more virtuous. They did it because they had power and money. Followed as a natural result, in today's world, the power dynamics have shifted, but the rule remains unchanged. The modern titans of tech, finance, and media command fortunes not because money was their goal, but because power was their pursuit. They built platforms, audiences, and technologies that gave them leverage over the masses. Money was simply the scorecard. If you want wealth, you must first ask yourself, what power do I possess? What value can I create that others cannot ignore? Without power, money will always elude you. The powerless obsess over pennies. The powerful create entire economies. This is the mindset gap that separates the rich from the poor. Broke people focus on cutting costs and pinching coupons. They think small because they feel small. Powerful people focus on expanding their influence. They think in terms of assets, networks, and scalable value. Money follows power because power is the ability to see opportunities where others see obstacles. It is the willingness to take calculated risks while the weak cling to false security. Every dollar you earn is a reflection of the power you've cultivated. Whether it's the power to sell, the power to lead, or the power to solve problems at scale, there are no exceptions to this rule. Lottery winners and trust fund babies may temporarily hold wealth, but without real power, they inevitably lose it. Money without power is like water in your hands. It slips away no matter how tightly you grasp.
The path to power is simple but not easy. It requires you to abandon the weak-minded fantasies of fairness and equality. The world does not care about your feelings. It responds only to strength. Develop a skill so sharp it cannot be ignored. Build a network so strong it opens every door. Cultivate a mindset so relentless that failure is not an option. Money will come, not because you chased it, but because you became someone money could not ignore. Power is the foundation, wealth is the result. Stop begging for money and start building power. The rest will take care of itself. The fundamental difference between champions and mediocre players isn't talent or luck, it's their competitive mindset. Winners attack the game with relentless aggression while losers timidly hope to avoid embarrassment. This distinction separates those who claim victory from those who merely survive. When you step into any arena of life, whether business, sports, or relationships, your approach determines your outcome before the first move is even made. Winners study the field like chess masters planning their domination 5 moves ahead. Losers nervously watch the clock, hoping time runs out before their weaknesses are exposed. This isn't just strategy. It's psychology that becomes destiny. Fear paralyzes the weak while fueling the strong. The loser's primary motivation is avoiding pain, which guarantees they'll never experience real triumph. Their entire existence becomes about minimizing risk rather than maximizing reward. Winners understand that playing not to lose is the surest way to guarantee defeat. They charge forward knowing that hesitation means death in competitive environments. In nature, predators who hunt to eat survive, while those who hunt to avoid hunger perish. The same ruthless law governs human achievement. Your mindset at the starting line predicts your position at the finish line with terrifying accuracy. The corporate world provides perfect examples of this principle in action. Most employees operate from scarcity mentality. Terrified of losing their jobs, they become obedient slaves to the system. Entrepreneurs play to win. They'll risk everything to build empires rather than beg for promotions. The employee worries about keeping their health insurance while the founder focuses on disrupting industries. This divergence in mentality explains why 1% of the population controls the majority of wealth. Playing not to lose means accepting predetermined limits, while playing to win means rewriting the rules entirely. Security is the enemy of greatness because it breeds complacency, the exact opposite of championship mentality. Competitive sports reveal this truth in its purest form. Watch any championship game and you'll see teams either pressing their advantage or desperately protecting their lead. The moment a team starts playing defensively is when they become vulnerable to defeat. History shows that comebacks happen against teams trying not to lose, rather than those continuing to play to win. This applies directly to personal success. When you stop aggressively pursuing growth and start merely trying to maintain your position, you've already begun losing. Life doesn't reward those who seek to preserve. It annihilates them. Only constant forward momentum creates lasting victory. Financial markets brutally punish those who play not to lose. Average investors panic during corrections while billionaires see buying opportunities. The fearful sell at the bottom to cut their losses while the fearless accumulate assets at discount prices. This same dynamic plays out in every money-making arena: real estate, entrepreneurship, even career advancement. Playing to win means recognizing that economic downturns create generational wealth. Opportunities, while playing not to lose, means your entire strategy is based on avoiding temporary discomfort. The richest people understand that money flows to those willing to embrace calculated risks, rather than those obsessed with artificial security. Relationships follow identical competitive dynamics. Winners approach dating and social circles with abundance mentality, while losers operate from scarcity and desperation. Playing to win means knowing your worth and walking away from anything less than you deserve. Playing not to lose means tolerating disrespect and mistreatment because you fear being alone. High-value individuals create attraction through confidence and independence, while needy people repel opportunities through their clinging desperation. This principle extends to friendships and professional networks. Winners associate with those who elevate them, while losers cling to toxic relationships out of fear of isolation. Your social outcomes perfectly reflect which game you're playing. The ultimate tragedy is that playing not to lose requires just as much effort as playing to win, but delivers none of the rewards.